Bismillah wa alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulullah ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear Muslim Islam. And welcome to another series, inshallah, halaqah of the Rasail min al-Quran, messages from the Quran, and Quran Tadabbur wa Amal. These are the two books that we're going through, alhamdulillah. So Quran, pondering, reflecting, contemplating, and implementing. As we said, that's the twins of faith, ilm and amal, knowledge and action together, inshallah. And today we are going to seal the deal on a message from Surah An-Nisa. And we talked about the marriage. We talked about you being benevolent to your parents. Now I'm going to talk to the parents, how to be good parents to your children, to finish the family series in a nutshell, inshallah. So when we said, وَلْيَخْشَ الَّذِينَ لَوْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّةً ضَعَافًا خَافُوا عَلَيْهِمْ فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْيَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. That's where we stopped last time. And may Allah bless Shaykh Asim Luqman al-Hakim. I missed him, subhanAllah. Every time he comes here, I get so busy and never got in touch with him. May Allah reward him abundantly for leaving his family and friends and coming to visit us and enlightening us with his knowledge, inshallah. So what is it exactly that the two down payments that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us as parents that we should do in order for us to protect our children? And I say it all the time. Most of the brothers, when they come, they basically tell me, you know, Sheikh, do I leave Canada or do I stay in Canada? Wallahi, I get the same question all the time. What are they thinking afraid of? Inflation? The house prices? The LGBTQ? They're afraid for the children. That's basically it. Most of the concerns, I'm going to lose my kids. I'm going to lose my children. And wallahi, I feel you. And I said to them, a long time ago, I came here 78. My father said, we will stay here for 2 years. Then go back. We thought we will make so much money, we go back and buy Egypt. And that's what we thought, you know, tree full of money, and we thought, you know, we come here, chill, work too hard 2 years, go back. You know what, man, Bob is your uncle. 46 years later, I'm still here. So if you think you're going to come here and do whatever it is and you have to go back, no, you have to actually acknowledge the fact, most of us here, this is home. This is home. You understand? Whatever we call back home, yes, I understand. Because really, if you think about it, back home is not really bright at this point. Even though whatever you think, wallahi, I practice Islam better here than in, you know, the hood. I'm just saying. If I say the hood, I won't go back again, then I'm not going back anyways, and Allah help us, yeah. So I feel your pain. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's reality. Wallahi, Allah gave me hidayah here. Do you believe it? Allah gave me hidayah here in the West. Yeah, and that's the truth. So remember, you have to make this environment good for our children and our youth in order for them to take ownership. And I have a lot of hope for the new generation. You know why? Because they're born and raised here. They know their mentality. They know their language. They know the environment. They get everything together. So now they're one of them. You can't tell me, you know what, go back home. Dude, this is home. Yes? And that's what I have a lot of hope in the new generation. To actually come up and take the banner and raise that banner, inshallah, for us to make sure that we are here, home, feeling home. So today, my talk is to the parents, how to look after the children. Now, let me give you the measuring stick that I usually use for the parents. I tell them, listen, dude, when you come from work, you go home, when you open the door, do your children run to you or run away from you? Oh, run, Forrest, run. Here comes Dad. Here comes trouble. Save yourselves. Or do they run with open arms? Dad, how you been? I missed you. And you don't have to answer me. You already know that. You already know. Now, another measuring stick I usually use for the parents. Do your children share secrets with you? Do they actually tell you when they've seen somebody in school? Oh, Dad, this guy was so good looking. And some of us go, what? You talk about good looking? What? She won't stand still. Our honor, our dignity, blah, blah, blah. Or the family name, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to shoot you before you shoot this girl because this is not exactly the approach you're going to take with these people. They're never going to talk to you again. They're going to seal up and they will ask other people. They will open up to other people, but not you. So you have to be smart, Sheikh. You have to understand the language of the people. You have to also understand that this is extremely important for us to make sure that we give our children the proper education and proper open arms and communication with them and speak their language. So the third measuring stick is to actually, are you friends with your children? Let me give you the 7. Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu an Ali Bayt al-Athar wa Sahaba ajma'in. He said, raise your children in a different way that you were raised. Because you were born and raised in a different time and environment than them. All right. How many of you guys, the young in the audience, how many times did you hear this? Your parents tell you, when I was your age. That's a broken record, man. I get this all the time. Dad, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't get it, man. I don't get your lingo. Because every time you tell me, Tika, Acha, Ji, I get you, man. I love biryani too. I'm brown from the inside, but I'm just saying these people don't know what you're talking about. If you're going to tell me, when I was your age, I walked to school bare feet, uphill, both ways, in the snow, and we were grateful. Like Bill Cosby was saying. How do you walk uphill both ways? I have no idea how that works. And you say, you know what? They won't get it, man. They can't understand because there's nothing like this here. Bare feet, they go different colors, Nike Air and gang colors and all of that stuff. We don't have a problem with this stuff. Yes? So you cannot speak to them the way you think that you were raised. They won't get it. So he says, raise them in a different time. They were born and raised in a different time and a different location than you are. So also make sure that you understand the lingo. You know, your children don't speak in sentences anymore. Your children don't even speak in words anymore. And I used to say they speak in letters now. But now they speak in emoji language. It's emojis, dude. And you better know what it means because you could be like... And they call you rents, it's not parents anymore, and all of that stuff. So you need to speak their lingo. Now I keep up because I keep asking my children. So I keep it, what's the word on the street, man? What's new? You gotta keep me in the loop, yeah? So you have to also understand that they need to have a father figure indeed, a mother figure indeed, but they also need a friend. So the 7 and the 21 is what I'm gonna teach you today, inshallah, plus others. The first 7 years, you need to give them TLC, tender love and care. Lots of hug, lots of kisses, lots of times. Spend time with them, invest. Most important 7 years. The second 7 years, you teach, educate, halal, haram, lawful, unlawful, permissible, not permissible, yes and no, allowed, not allowed. That's the time where the teaching, and I'll give you the proof inshallah. And the last 7 years, you befriend them. That's it. Because it's too late. So if you invest in them in the first 7 years and the second 7 years, you will cruise. If you pay your dues in the first 2, you cruise in the third 7 years. If you don't pay your dues, you cruise in your first 7 years, you will pay your dues in the third 7 years and onwards. Let me explain. First 7 years, they need lots of love and tender care. So number 1 on this, I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, a mom, please don't be a career mom. Dad, please don't be a $ dad. Extremely important to understand what this means. Okay, number 1. What I mean by a career mom. Before I go there, please note that I want the sisters to have the best careers, most successful in their career, in their fields. So don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, a career mom, a mom, when you have children, you continue with your career and you neglect your children, let alone your husband. But I'm just talking about the parents now, not a marriage. When I talk to sisters, I give them 4 hats. I tell them you have 4 hats. I talk about that some other time. But for now, as a parent, please make sure that a career mom takes her career as a priority and neglects her children. That's a career mom. So Ali ibn Abi Talib said, who are the orphans? I know I'm not going to ask you yet because I didn't tell you. So the orphans, under normal circumstances, are those children who lost their father before the age of puberty. That's an orphan. In animal kingdom, an orphan is the one lost their mother, because the mothers are hunters actually in the animal kingdom. But as a human, the Homo sapien race, us human beings, us, the orphan is considered losing the father before the age of puberty. Okay? But he said he has a different definition. He says, ليس اليتيم, the yatim is من ليس له أبوان, but له أبوان أم تخلت وأبا مشغولا. He says that the orphan, according to him, they have parents. But what kind of parents? أم تخلت, a mother that was neglectful. They abandoned their children. وأبا مشغولا, they have a father, but their father is too busy. I'll tell you a story that was mine. I'll tell you a true story, my own story. I was teaching a course, I believe, in either Birmingham or Manchester. It was about family. It was called, my course was called Parenting Matters. It takes 2 days, full days to explain. I'm just giving you some of it, inshallah, tonight. And I was saying, don't be a $ dad. Let me explain the $ dad first. I explained the career mom. $ dad is your children don't know you. They see you as a $. That's it. You're the ATM. They see you as the one that puts the food on the table, clothes on their back, and roof over their head. But do they know you? No, they don't. Do you know them? No, you don't. So you're busy traveling all over the place, working all the time. You come home tired, you go to sleep, and that's it. You don't know their secrets. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they want to do. Because as Muslims, we have the Trinity. You know the Trinity? For our children. All parents want the children to be in the Trinity. Doctor, engineer, lawyer. That's it. Anything else? No. That's majority of Muslim parents want their children to be in this Trinity. Anything else is, wow, what? You're going to make us look bad, man. Yeah. So the $ dad doesn't have time for the children when they're young. And guess what, dude? You don't bond with them. You don't spend time with your children when they're young. Guess what, champ? When you grow old, you won't find your children. You did not invest your time with your children earlier on when they needed you most. When you need them most, they will not be there for you. You didn't have time for me, Dad? I don't have time for you now, dude. A career mom is known. A $ dad, you know what? They don't need you anymore. When? You put them through school, they graduate from university, they get a job now. They don't need you anymore. Why? Because they have their own money, dude. They get a job, they have money. Do they need you anymore? No, because you represented a $ for them. So when they have the $, you're irreplaceable. Replaceable. You're done. So guess where you're going to end up? In a senior home. They're not going to look after you. So I'm telling you this from true stories. So when I was teaching that course in Manchester, I believe, Birmingham, whatever it is, in the UK, I was talking about a story that I shared and I cried after I said that story because I was that guy. I used to travel a lot. I cut down a little bit. I still travel a lot. But wallahi, I didn't have enough time to spend time with my family. And that's bad. I acknowledge that, wallahi. I regret it, but it is what it is. You're so much hungry for the da'wah, you travel your conference, the course here, fundraiser, and all of that stuff. So when I said this story, a father comes home from work, and the son runs to him, Dad, Dad. And the father goes, get away from me, can't you see I'm tired? So the son turns around, walk away crying. He goes to his room. After the father calms down, he knocks on his door. He says, son, sorry about that. I was tired. Forgive me. What did you want to ask? He said, Dad, I just wanted to know how much you make an hour. At that time, he said, I make $10 an hour, son. The son comes up with $10 and he goes, Dad, Here's $10. Can I have an hour of your time? Wallahi, I cried when I said that story. I had to stop the course. I took a little break because I couldn't continue. Because I was that guy. Everything I did was on planes, trains, and automobiles and hotels. Before I got into da'wah, I was an executive with the Home Depot. I was a regional manager. I looked after 3 provinces, 20 stores, 3 warehouses. I was all over the place. We worked 6, 7 hours, 6, 7 days, 11 hours a day. That's it. They hook you. The golden handcuffs. You know that? The stocks to options and all of that stuff. That's what it was. So I don't want you to be a $sign dad. So I'm going to give you some, hopefully, some homework in order for you not to be those two, a career mom or a $sign dad. Now, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Number 1. All right, sisters, raise your hand if you have children. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, who has 2 children? Raise your hand. Okay, keep your hand up if you have 3 children. 4 children? MashaAllah. So, the brothers raising the hand. Good for you, man. All right, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do for both brothers and sisters. I want you to set a date on your calendar to take your child out on a date. That's how you're going to bond with them. I don't want you to take them all at the same time. No, that was easy. I'm not taking you off the hook. I want you to get to know your children. So I want you to take one at a time. Not the whole children. Okay, here you go. Put them in the van. Put the CD on. Watch this movie. And that's it. They become your babysitter. You don't know them. You don't know you. You don't talk to them. They don't talk to you. Because everything he says, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you know why they're celebrating when the summer is over? Because you don't have to babysit these lovely people. So after the children go back to school, woo, the parents go, the funky chicken doing the raising the roof, doing the macarena. Because they're tough to look after, man. We gotta entertain these people. Right. So all I'm asking you to do is on your Google Calendar. By the way, I came up with this from my wife. I say this publicly. I came up with the my-off time. My-off theory, yeah? My-off theory. I came up with it because of my wife. She taught me a lesson. I'll share it with you. She has access to my calendar. So I usually look one day ahead of time to see what's going on. And I look at the calendar and I see Reem. She booked herself in my calendar. And I did not recognize that fact, so I kept looking at her name. Reem. Sounds very familiar. That name, I know this name. And finally it dawned on me, it's my wife. So I learned the lesson that she's trying to send me a message. Do I have to book myself in your calendar to have some time with you? Wallahi, I learned the lesson. She taught me a lesson, very politely, very smart, indirectly. So I looked back and I laughed, and I came up with something called the my-off theory. The my-off theory is my time, your time, our time, family time. That's it. That's the my-off. M-Y-O-F. My-off. So my time, I need to, when I come from work, listen, I've been listening to married problems. Listen, when somebody calls me up, I already know. It's either somebody wants to get married or somebody wants to get divorced. It's the two. And when they ask you a question, depending on the introduction before the question, I know how bad the problem is. Okay? So if they tell you, Yaddi Alaa, wala. So, hey boy, I know it's not a big problem. It's okay. It's going to be easy. But if they say, Maulana, Maulana now is big. This is a big time. Or now they say, Mufti Diyar, Musiba. Khalas, yani this is serious, fourth talaq, something. Whatever, fourth talaq, what madhab is that? Third. Fourth, wife, I'm just talking for that. Brothers, did you know you have a iddah? Did you know that? Brothers have a iddah. I know I'm surprising you, but brothers have a iddah. Who can tell me, how do the brothers have a iddah? I understand sisters have a iddah, but how could a brother have a iddah? Aha. Eh? Ooh. All right. Let me tell you how a brother can have a iddah. If you're married to 4 wives, did I say that out loud? Cut this. Cut the live feed. I'm just saying. That person on Mars, that brother, not on Earth, because I understand. Some serious heat I'm taking, Sheikh. I'm taking one for the team. If the brother is married to 4 wives and he divorced one of them, he cannot marry unless this sister gets over her iddah. Do you understand? Because she's still considered his wife. That's only time when the brothers have a iddah. Nice try, Sheikh. I'm trying to find a wife, Sheikh. Just give me one wife, Yani. I'll be fine with that. You're talking La La Land. All right. So what I'm saying is when I come from work, I said, listen, I've been listening to a lot of stuff. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to sit, say nothing, do nothing, and just detox. That's my time. So I can sit on my massage chair, chill, surf, whatever it is, work out, anything. I don't care. I don't want to do anything for 1 hour or something. All right? Now I recognize that my wife has also been looking after these children, these lovely people, the whole day. And she blames you for everything they do. If you ever touch me again, I'll shoot you. That's when she's given birth. You understand? When they go through labor pain, that's basically when they hate you most. So now, you need to give her. Now it's your time, honey. Now, I took 1 hour off. You take 1 hour off. I look after the children. She goes pedicure, manicure, facial, massage, shopping. I don't care. Surfing. That's her time. I look after the kids. Yes? Now, the O stands for our time. I asked the brothers, minimum, once a week, you take your wife out on a date. Minimum once a week, you take your wife out on a date. Okay, guys? Why? But if you take your wife out on a date and you start talking about the problems you have with your children, I'll shoot you again because you're trying to get away from that. You talk about, honey, the first time I've ever seen you, my heart was aching, my knees are shaking. It's true, I ain't faking. You didn't eat bacon and all of that stuff. You see, you talk about poems, you give them flowers, you know their favorite chocolate, you take them out. My brother taught me something. He says it's not the beautiful places that makes the memories. It's the memories that makes places beautiful. You understand? So you don't have to go to fancy places, expensive places. You know what? If you're a cheapskate, I understand. I get it. But you spend time, quality time. If you don't have the quantity, you have to have the quality. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you go on a date with your wife, I want you to shut this down. Capiche? No phones. It's your wife's time. That's it. Unless you're a doctor or a surgeon or something, emergency, I get it. But otherwise, it's her time. You owe her that. You don't talk about this. You don't talk, nothing. It's only you and I, honey. You reinvest back, talk about the beautiful time. Remind each other the beautiful memories. You need to refuel, rekindle. That's the chemistry you have to have. Yes? Okay. What I recommend, I have it on my calendar. I tell my wife, you pick one, whatever you want to do on that day, I pick another. Yes? That makes it more interesting. Yeah? And now, the F stands for family. Here's what I usually break it down to. I break it to, you go to her family, whatever, Sunday, whatever it is that they decide, and the next week you go to his family. Then the third, nothing. Only your family, immediate family. That means you spend time with your immediate family. No in-laws or outlaws or anything else for that matter. I said no politics. Come on, Yani. Do you understand that number one reason for divorce in North America is the mother-in-law? It's true. Statistics show number one reason for divorce in North America is the mother-in-law. I talk about it online, wallahi. It's a whole video on it. So, but not these sisters. These are the best mother-in-laws right here. Yeah? Because again, remember, you understand. Okay. So the family time, here's what I want you to take your son alone. Take your daughter alone on rotation. They tell you what they want to do. Don't tell them. I want to go bowling, Dad. You got it, son. Let's go bowling, man. Let's go for pizza. You got it, man. There's halal pizza here. Let's go to Geet's Pizza. All right? Let's go fishing. Let's go fishing, man. Let's go hiking. Let's go hiking. Let's go shopping, Dad. Guess who said that? If you guys say that, I don't know you. It's this, I'm hoping, Yani. Let's go shopping. Okay. Sisters will usually, you take her shopping. You give her a budget. Honey, this is your budget. Go crazy. All right? Here's $2 Canadian. 2 full Canadian dollars. That's 200 cents. I'm talking no budget cuts. Nothing but the best for you because your father is a big spender. I'm just saying. That sounds too real for you guys? What? Too close to home? All right. Once you do that, you bond with your children. They love you. You share stories. You know your children. You know what they want to do and when they grow up, not what you want them to do when they grow up. They will share secrets with you. You have a joke with them. You memory now. You have a bank full of memories. I remember, son, we went to this. Oh, I remember, wallahi. But we went fishing, man. We only caught fresh air. Or I caught a cold. We didn't catch fish, son. But it was fun, bonding time. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to invest in your children. The most important, precious cargo you will ever have. All right? So number 7, the first 7, you need to give them TLC. Yes? Yes. I go tender love and care, but I go time, love and care. Yes? Please. A second 7 is I want to make sure that you tell them, you know what? Halal, haram. Where do I get the proof from? 7 years. Who can tell me the proof? Start at 7. Okay, goes back to the pot. مروا أولادكم الصلاة للسبع. There you go. واضربوهم عليهن لعشر وفرقوا بينهن في المضاجع. All right. Command your children to pray at 7. That's when we get this. 7 years old, you tell them, listen, it's time to pray, man. Command. Yeah? And discipline at 10 because they're coming too close. Too close if they're not praying. You know what I mean? At 10 years old, they can reach puberty anytime. They're on the hook. They're held accountable when they reach puberty. You are also on the hook if you didn't tell them that. And then, وَفَرِّقُوا بَيْنَهُمْ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ and separate between them in beds. What does that mean? Your daughter and your son cannot be sleeping in the same bed. I know this, I get this all the time. Okay, Sheikh, my son sleeps this way and my daughter sleeps this way. Yeah? So head here, toes here. Son, head here, toes here. It won't work, man. Same bed. You don't sleep in the same bed. Capiche? No touchy. No soup for you. You understand? Bunk beds is fine, but not in the same bed. You understand, guys? Our Prophet did not go to Oxford or Harvard or all of this to learn about psychology and human sexuality, but you know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell you. Earlier on, you have to make sure you understand that they don't have any deviances. Yes? And that's why Islam is the best way to teach them. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. As soon as the boy knows the difference between a boy and a girl, it's time. You don't have to wait till 7. Because right now, it's hypersexual right here. This society we live in, they're everywhere. So as soon as the difference knows, oh, that's a boy, that's a girl, it's time. You understand? It's time to separate. Don't sleep in. And then if the sisters wear hijab, you wear hijab now. If that boy comes in, he knows this is a boy and this is a girl, it's time to wear hijab. You understand? Not to hijab for the sisters. That boy comes in as a foreign brother or that sister of the house has to wear hijab now because that boy knows exactly, khalas. He knows the difference between a boy and a girl. So now the third is befriend them. Because it's too late. Once they become a teenager, they're rebels. If you do not instill in them what is right, what is wrong, what is halal, what is haram, you're going to have a tough time. I received a phone call in my office. A brother says, Sheikh, I need your help. I can't control my son. I go, okay, I'll do my best, inshallah. How old is he? He said, 30. I go, excuse me, come again? He says, he's 30 years old, Sheikh. I go, you had 30 years with your son and you couldn't get him under. You want me to have a magic wand? Healed. I see the light. I believe. I repent. What do you want me to do, man? You had 30 years, you can get your son in order. You want me to, okay, one setting, I want me to get your son in order. You lost it. So here's what I tell the sisters. When I tell the sister, when they come and, wallahi, and I tell the parents, and I'm a straight shooter, by the way. When they come bring the children, give me, says, you know what, Sheikh, blah, 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 blah. I go, okay, listen, you understand that your children is a byproduct of you. Who raised these children? And they go, no, it's you. You raised the children. So how did you raise your children? Because before you complain about your children, I'm going to cross-reference you. Did you give him 1, 2, 3, 4? Did you take him to the masajid? Did you teach him the adhkar? Do you pray Fajr in Jama'ah yourself? Do you do Qiyamul Layl? Let me give you why. The reason I asked the brothers and sisters to do Qiyamul Layl is Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib. Who is Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib? It's Sayyid al-Tabi'een. I understand Hassan al-Basri, rahmatullah alayhi majma'in, radiyallahu anhu majma'in. Most popular, but the most knowledgeable was Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib. Most knowledgeable, most famous among the lineages, Hassan al-Basri. Both, may Allah bless them both, inshallah. Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib, he used to say, with this ayah we're going through, وَلْيَخْشَى الَّذِينَ لَوْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّةً ضَعَافًا خَافُوا عَلَيْهِمْ فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْيَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. He said, I would make Qiyamul Layl. Because Allah says, if you fear for your lineage, you have to have taqwa. And when do you learn taqwa? Qiyamul Layl. Why? Because nobody else sees you except Allah. And that's when you know whether you have taqwa or not, when you're all alone. Don't tell me you have taqwa in front of people. No, 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 no. You learn taqwa when you're all alone. That's why Allah says, فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ مَنِ اتَّقَى. Don't boast about yourself. Don't tell me I do this, I do that. Allah knows you have taqwa. Allah knows your hearts. When you're all alone, you will know whether you have taqwa or not. So he said, I used to do Qiyamul Layl and I would prolong my sujood. I would prolong my sujood. He said, why? It's because I remember the ayah. Allah says, you want to look after your children, you have to have taqwa. Number 2, وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. Where do you find this? Surah Al-Kahf, because I know the brother keeps also telling me it's Surah Al-Kahf, Surah Al-Kahf, Surah Al-Kahf. And Tabarak every night, and Surah Al-Kahf every Thursday night. Even though there's difference of opinions among the scholars, but I love this man. So I'm going to have to relay the message. So Tabarak every night, good uncle? And Surah Al-Kahf every Thursday night, and up to Maghrib of Friday night, inshallah. Okay guys? وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. What does that mean? The parents were righteous. Okay, according to Ibn Kathir, in the Tafseer, it was Sabi' Jad. 7th grandfather. 7th grandfather. Do you believe it? That is serious. Now, when you look at the lineage, Allah saved the children because the 7th grandfather was righteous. That's serious. Yeah, that's the lineage, Sheikh. So when you think about it, you really have to marry the righteous sister. I talked about before. Because the sisters who raise the children. You understand, guys? Not you. All right. Okay. What's the average father? How much time does the father spend a day with the kids? Very good, mashallah. Actually, 20 minutes. That's very close, son. 20 minutes. The average father spends 20 minutes a day with the children. Guess who spends more time? Okay, yeah, come on. This is the easy one. Yeah. Mom, this was a rhetorical question. But nice try. I know you want it. We'll get it, inshallah. Mom. Yes? So your mom is the one that's going to raise your children. So that's why I tell the brothers, listen, when Prophet Muhammad says, فَظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ, choose the religious background of a woman to raise your children, otherwise you lose everything. That's exactly what it means. So please understand, number 1 haqq for your children is choosing the righteous spouse. Number 1 rights for your children before they're even born is choosing the righteous spouse. Yes? Okay. Father will be a role model. The mother will be the one who raises you. Okay, so now we understand how important it is for you to be proactive, not reactive. Most of us, oh, Sheikh, I can't believe it. Wallahi, they've dropped the ball all their lives, and all of a sudden, they want their daughter to wear hijab as soon as they reach puberty. Do you think it's going to happen? It's not going to happen. So do qiyas, analogy, which means what? If we're commanded to command their children to start praying at 7, that's when you do the same thing with the hijab. Not necessarily for hijab. Okay, lengthen your sleeves a little, honey. No more, this thingy. When you're a child, I understand. Okay? A little longer here till full sleeves. You know what? Wear a hat. Wear a cap. You know the French monnaie? It looks like an artiste. It's very trendy indeed. Then you wear a scarf, a little bit of a fancy thingy. Then you go. But you don't have to worry about it because the environment is a dictator. You understand that your children is a byproduct of the society. Yes? So I'm going to ask you, brothers, as a parent, you better know your children's friends. Okay, as a parent, please raise your hand if you know your children's friends. I don't mean to make it awkward for you, wallahi, but I know that most of the brothers don't. They don't. I am giving you a homework, and believe me, 35 years doing this stuff, teaching courses around the world, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not the expert. I don't know it all, but I know what happens. If you don't know your children's, your friends, you will lose them if they have bad friends. Where's the proof? If you tell me the proof, I give you this lovely thingy. Allahu Akbar. Good for you, Sheikh. This guy, no waste. You see chocolate. Good for you, man. What's your name, son? Hassan. Hassan Allahu ilayk, brother Hassan. Are you married? A single boy, knows what he's talking about. Sisters, I'm just saying. I'm certified marriage officer. All right. Good for you, brother Hassan. He's never coming back because I embarrassed the boy. Khalas, yani. Nice talking to you, son. All right. The idea behind it, guys, I want you. How do you know your children's friends? Invite them home. Invite your friends, your children's friends at home. Have a party, halal party. Yani. I'm just saying, have a nice get together. Have fun, but halal fun. Yes? At home. Then you get to meet your children's friends. These are good friends. Okay, son. His name is Muhammad, Abdul Rahman, Fatima, Khadija. Not Mimi, Tutu, Lulu, Fifi, and Susu. The boy has tattoos and he has earrings. I'm talking about boys. Yes? And they walk with their underwear showing. I know that stuff. That's not the company you want, my man. You got that? Okay. So please make sure you invest in your children by knowing their friends. Extremely important. الْمَرْءُ عَلَى دِينِ خَلِيلٍ فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَا يُخَالِلُ. You will be on the way of your comrades, so be cautious and be conscious of who has a friend. All right. Tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. Tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. Why? Birds of a feather. Exactly. You know, psychiatrists will tell you, when you tell somebody, I like you, you know what does that mean? When you tell somebody, I like you, you're actually saying, I am like you. Yes. I like you. You know what I like? I like the way you dress, man. I like the way you do. I like the way I like. That means I'm like you. I like the things that you like. That's what you have in common. That's what psychiatrists say. When you tell somebody I like you, that means I'm like you. That's why you hang around together. You have something in common. So please make sure you understand how important that is. Let me tell you how important that is. It's in the Quran. Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt, alayhi min Allah ma yastahiq, invited our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to dinner once. He wasn't a Muslim. So he says, I will not come to you unless you embrace Islam. He says, nah. He says, okay, I won't come. But it was embarrassing. It was awkward if somebody invites you for dinner and you don't come. It's looked down upon. So he invited him for again. He says, no, embrace Islam, I'll come. For the third time, he did embrace. Our Prophet ﷺ, he was hoping that would happen to Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt, who was among the noble of society, what happened to Hamza radiallahu anhu warḍahu and Sahaba ajma'in. Because he heard somebody said something bad, and he said, أَتَسُبُّهُ وَأَنَا عَلَى دِينِهِ, you curse him and I follow his way of life. So he embraced Islam because he was awkward. He was put in a position, and he said, Ya Allah, now I said it. If it's true, make it ease to my heart. If it's not, then keep it away from me. So he embraced Islam that way. So he's hoping it would put him in the same situation. So a real nasty friend of his said, I heard what you did. Wajhi ala wajhika haram. I can't be a friend anymore. He said, unless you go back and curse him and spit in his face. So Uqba ibn Abi Mu'ayt had to make a decision to keep his friend, the nasty friend, or to stay with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Unfortunately, he made the wrong decision. يوم يعض الظالم على يديه يقول يا ليتني يا اتخذت مع رسول سبيلا يا ليتني ما اتخذ فلانا خليلا فلان, he didn't even mention his name. لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني. Allah mentioned it in the Quran, but he didn't mention his name. It's not worthy of being mentioned in the Quran. I wish I took the path of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I never took the path of this man. He misguided me to the straight path. And on that day they will bite down and regret and remorse. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Be careful who you have as a friend. Extremely important. Because of time is passing. But inshallah we'll do our best to continue. And as I said, I was supposed to. I won't we will see. We'll play it by ear. I was supposed to be here for the 3 months, June, July, August. But if things continue and you guys want it to continue, and inshallah, with the permission of the admin team of the Ask, I will continue inshallah. But we'll see. We'll play by ear, especially school and all of that stuff. If we have to change the time or date, whatever it is, I'll do my best to continue for whatever it is for the best for the community, not mine. Okay, inshallah. So now we understand how important it is for us to invest in our children. Why? شقاء الأبناء شقاء الآباء. The difficulties your children will go through, the difficulties you will go through. Because it's still you love them. So if you see your children going through difficult times, guess what? You're going to go through difficult time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The best investment you will ever make. Okay, I have one thing I'll finish with inshallah. The best investment, you know when you have RRSPs? But I want you to have ERRSPs. What does the E stands for? Eternal. Oh, that's close. Very good. Eternal. Register, retirement plan, saving plans. How? I want you to think that your children are your best investment. In the hadith it says when the human being dies, their actions indeed are cut off except of 3. Can you help me out? What are the 3? Ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, and children that will make dua for you. They're all there, man. Ongoing charity. You know that the best money you spend is the money you spend for your family. It's not an expense. It's an investment. The knowledge you teach them. You know, every time you teach them Al-Fatiha, you teach them Al-Salah, every time they pray, every time you say Salah, you teach them how to make wudu. Every time they do it, you will get the reward till Judgment Day. And then they teach your children, you will get the reward too. Smart. Think. Now, I taught my kids the Adhkar al-Sabah wal-Masa when I take them from school to school and back from school. In Fajr time, after we finish, we say Adhkar al-Sabah when we take them to school. I take them from school, we say Adhkar al-Masa. Remembrance of Allah during the day, remembrance of Allah during the night. But how are you going to teach your children if you don't know it yourself? So I'm asking you to learn about it yourself. You have to lead by example. And that's what Qiyamul Layl is all about. Let me tell you something else. How many of you guys do this? When a phone comes, who are you looking for? Dad. Okay, your father says, tell him I'm not here. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What did you just teach your child? How to lie. Isn't that stupid? You're telling your child, I'm not here. He can see you. You're here. Yeah? So don't do that. By the way, it's called the mirror effect. The mirror effect. They absorb you. You're a role model for them. And because a father said to his son, oh son, be careful where you step. The son tells his father, oh dad, be careful where you step because I'll be following your footsteps. Do you understand? Yeah. So when the parents bring the children to me, I cross-reference. How did you raise your children? The sister goes, oh Sheikh, they went to private schools. They had clean underwear, a bath every night. They wear oshkosh, bigosh, oh my gosh. They had a pinky up. They had, what? I am not talking about any of this stuff. I said, how do you raise your children, ukhti? According to Quran and Sunnah. It says, terbiyah. What is tarbiyah? Teaching your children Quran and Sunnah. How to become righteous. Not gray pompon, pinky up. What? No, yeah, that's good too. But I'm saying, here's what I want. I want you to teach them to be the best of both. Okay, here's what I'm going to add on your to-do list. When you go home tonight, on the door of your child, I want you to put a label. I want you to put a label. Okay? Dr. Muhammad. Lawyer Fatima. Imam Abdul Rahman. Engineer Khadija. Why? Subliminal messages. This is a goal. They see that on their door. It's a goal they shoot for. You understand? So they see that every day. You know, my brothers and sisters, the elephant theory. The elephant theory is scary, guys. The elephant theory is when the elephant is born, when they're young, they put a shackle. Very big steel shackle and a very strong steel chain on their foot. And they cement it to the ground. They will never be able to get away with it. That's a young elephant. So every time they try, they can't go anywhere. So psychologically, they said, as soon as they put the shackle on, I can't do it, so they just submit. Because they tried so many times, yes? And they can't do it. What happens when the elephant grows old and big and strong, they put the same shackle on. The elephant doesn't move. Why? Because the childhood, they have a psychological block that I've tried so many times. As soon as I put the shackle on, they give, they surrender. They don't try anymore. Why am I sharing this with you? Okay? Let me see if this sounds familiar to you. Who amongst us as parents talk to your children like this? You're stupid. You're not worthy. You're a loser. Why can't you be like your cousin, blah, blah, blah? I wish I never had you. Don't tell me, don't raise your hand. I'm just saying, I know. Unfortunately, from back home, we are not educated. When they don't come with a manual. When you have a child, you're on your own, man. We were not educated. You just learned. So alhamdulillah, nowadays there are courses, there are things that we can talk about. The elephant theory, we can talk about the preventive measures, being proactive, not reactive, all of that stuff. So from now on, you will never address your children like that. Never anymore. You will never say to your child, you're stupid. You will be stupid if you say that to your child. So how do you address them? He says, honey, I love you, but your behavior is unacceptable. Do you see the difference? You as a child, I love, but your behavior is unacceptable. That is the proper way to do it. You understand? Okay, so no more, because who you think who you are, who you're told who you are. If the most two loving people in your life tell you you're stupid, you're not worthy, you're a loser, I wish I never had you, they will think, you know what, if my father thinks I'm stupid, I must be stupid. If my mother says I never wish I had you, then I'm not worthy. They don't love me. You understand? So that's exactly what I want you to do, brothers and sisters. Please make sure you do your homework. 3 minutes, the adhan is going to go on. Any questions before I close it up? All right, let me now go to the question mode. Sisters, what is a career mom? When I said don't be a career mom, what is a career mom? Okay, sisters, go ahead. Now, sisters forgot already. MashaAllah, they don't want to remember. Okay, brothers, what is the $sign dad? Go ahead, son. Good for you, man. You the man. I love this guy. All right, tie break. Tie break, you get to pick two. Okay, guys? What does a Maya theory mean, and prove it to me? Okay, one of these here, three raise their hands. You whatever wants to take it. Okay, go ahead. Whoever wants to take it. You want to take it? Go ahead. So what does Mayaf stand for?
It's when you have time and you want to spend it with family.
Okay, you're on the right track. Okay, now the brothers had a go at it. Let me go with the sisters. If you tell me what the Mayaf theory stands for and how do you implement it, you win. If not, I'll give it back to them. Any of the sisters know what a Mayaf theory is? No, sisters just want to get away from their husbands and come here. I get it. They're just here for entertainment. I get that. Okay, the Mayaf theory stands for my time, your time, our time, family time. Remember, on your Google Calendar, I actually implemented. Yes, I literally put that. MYOF. Yes? Right. Very good. Now, if it's the brothers the one on this one, okay, son, come here. You the man. Come and pick two. Okay, you're the winner. All right. I don't have enough time, so we'll close it here, inshallah, because the adhan is in 1 minute. If you want to, go ahead and do you make your wudu or do whatever it is. Great. And again, we will let you know if we're going to continue or not. The admin or the management team will keep you, inshallah, involved. I will be notified. Yes, you can. You can. Go ahead, inshallah. All right. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Nashal astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khairan wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Go ahead.